Welcome to week one of Focus. We're moving into the Focus section of our Back to Basics series. And what we're going to be discussing today is how to use yoga and meditation to improve mindfulness and focus in your everyday life. So, we exist in these very hyper-stimulated worlds. In this day and age, there's so much information coming at us from so many different places. We're receiving input from friends, from electronics, from the media, from television, from just being out in the community, from all of our devices that we carry around from work and school and everything else. And it's very, very stimulating to the nervous system. And so the nervous system is sort of bouncing around all the time from one thing to the next. And it can be really difficult to ground and to focus. So focus is much like any other skill. It's something that has to be developed. Especially in this day and age, we have to put conscious effort into flexing and strengthening the focus muscles. And when we work with meditation and yoga, we're actually taking our focus from the external, from that busy, hyper-stimulated world that we live in, to the internal. We're taking some time to really pay attention to our physical bodies, to our breath, to our movements. And then we add this concept of meditation. We can focus on a myriad of things. We can focus on the breath. The breath can actually be a meditation. We can focus on our movement. We can focus on mantra, like using words or sounds to hold the focus. We can focus on an image. We can focus on a candle flame or a scent. Anything that uses our five senses, we can use as a point of focus. So what we're going to work on today is just starting with the breath. And when we use the breath, we know that it helps to shift the nervous system from that fight or flight sympathetic nervous system into parasympathetic. It helps us to calm the nervous system. So the key for our practice today is going to be continuing to return the focus back to the breath in the midst of distraction. Inevitably, it's going to happen. You're going to think about what you need to do later, what you forgot to do yesterday. That thing that you heard someone say a week ago may pop into your mind. And what we want to do when that happens is notice immediately that we're distracted. Take a deep breath, bring your focus back to the breath, back to my voice, back to presence. And we do that as many times as it takes. It's a lot like if you're driving down the street and suddenly you feel yourself veering out of your lane, maybe into another lane or into the ditch. As soon as you notice that you're veering out of that path, out of the lane that you're in, you pause and you get back to where you were. It's the same thing with meditation. When we find that we're distracted, when we find that we're veering off our path of focus, we take a moment to acknowledge that, and then we redirect ourselves back to the practice, back to the point of focus. So let's go ahead and ground and find that comfortable seat. So as you feel yourself rooted down through the feet, through the sit bones, through the pelvis, let yourself also find that sense of rise. So you're feeling the rib cage lift off of the pelvis, the crown of the head lengthening up toward the sky, and just feeling yourself sit maybe a little bit taller. And then you can place your hands in whatever comfortable position feels appropriate for you. If you're feeling like today you'd like to receive some energy, perhaps turn the palms so that they're facing up. And if you're feeling today like you need to ground a bit more, you can turn the palms down. And then from there, simply close the eyes. And we're going to start our meditation today just by noticing the qualities of your breath. So begin to dial your focus into the sensation of the inhale and the sensation of the exhale. So as you breathe in, feel the rib cage expand. And as you breathe out, feel it soften back to center. And we're not really trying to change anything at this point. We're just taking a moment to observe and watch that natural quality of the breath. Feeling the expansiveness of the inhale and the release of the exhale. And simply holding your focus to those two polarities, expansiveness as you breathe in and softening back to center as you breathe out. And notice if your mind has a tendency to wander, just gently but firmly bring it back to the breath quality. Now, let's start to enhance the quality of the breath a little bit with consciously slowing the breath down and deepening it. So as you inhale, feel the low belly, the rib cage, and the chest expand. And as you slowly exhale, feel the chest, the rib cage, and the belly empty. So breathing very slowly, very deeply, working to expand the breath container from the belly all the way up to the collarbones, and working to empty the breath container from the collarbones all the way down to the low belly. So we're now focusing on a bigger breath. And the same thing applies here. If you find that you're distracted by some external stimulus or the mind just starts to wander, that's okay. Just notice that your focus has been pulled. Take a breath and come back, finding that expansiveness from bottom to top on the inhale and the release from top to bottom on the exhale. Now, let's take this a little bit deeper. We're going to bring one hand onto the belly and one hand onto the chest. So now we're going to play with Viloma breath. That's going to be our point of focus for these next few minutes. So Viloma breath is very similar to the breath we were just working through. The big difference is you're dividing the inhale into 3 equal parts, and there's a slight pause in between each section. So the inhale, the first third of the breath goes down into the belly, and then you pause. And then the second third of the breath expands the rib cage in the middle, and then you pause. And then the final third of the breath goes into the chest, and we pause. And then we exhale completely from top to bottom. So let's do that again. Inhale, belly expands, pause. Inhale, rib cage expands, pause. Inhale, chest expands, pause. And then let it go from top to bottom. So we'll continue to repeat that. Inhaling, belly expands, pause. Inhale, rib cage expands, pause. Inhale, chest expands, pause. And then long, slow exhale from top to bottom. Now let's stay with this for another couple of minutes. Feeling those little pauses as you expand each section. And then that full exhale from top to bottom. Staying with it over and over again, bringing your focus back amidst any distraction or wandering of the mind. We're going to stay with this 3-part breath, with those little pauses in between each section on the inhale, with that slow, fluid, complete exhale. And I want you to really zero your focus in on that exhale. As you very slowly release that breath, start to feel that release expanding into other parts of your body. Slow in breath, pausing between each section. Slow, fluid exhale, expanding that release all throughout the body. So we're starting to use that out breath to consciously relax. A subtle engagement of the core as you sit upright. And letting yourself soften all parts of the body as much as you can. Each out breath. Finding that inhale into the belly, pausing. Inhale into the rib cage, pausing. Inhale into the chest, pausing. And then slow, fluid exhale, relaxing. The toes, the feet, the ankles, the arches. Another inhale, expanding belly, pause, expand rib cage, pause, expand chest, pause, slow exhalation, Relaxing the legs, the knees, the hips. On this next out breath, let yourself relax the fingers, the palms of the hands and the wrists, softening. 3-part inhale, long, slow, fluid exhale, relaxing the arms, the elbows and the shoulders, feeling the hands gently resting on the body. Three-part inhale. Use the exhale to soften all along the spine, around the pelvis and the shoulder blades, softening as much as you can without losing the integrity of your posture. Feeling yourself soften around that strong center that holds you upright. Another big 3-part breath. And then softening the features of your face on the exhale. Relaxing the lips, lids of the eyes, cheeks, temples, and forehead. Inviting that softness over the entire body. That sense of ease into the sense organs and the internal organs. Let yourself take one more big 3-part breath, pausing in between. And then on the exhale, slowly release. Let the hands come back to rest in a comfortable position. Let go of the effort in your breath. Allow the breath return to its natural rhythm. Feel the expansiveness of the inhale, the release of the exhale, holding your focus to that breath. Feeling the expansive inhale and the release of the exhale. Maintaining that subtle softness around your strong center. Redirecting the focus back to the breath amidst any external distraction or wandering mind, guiding it back to the path of focus. Let's all take another big inhale. This time bring it in through the nose and sigh it out through the mouth on the exhale. Do that 2 more times. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Take a moment to feel your feet on the ground, your sit bones, your long spine, your strong center. Take a moment to bring the hands to the heart, gently bowing the head toward the chest. The light of me sees and honors that same light in each of you. May we allow ourselves to return to that light, and bring our focus to that light within and without. And any time when we feel overwhelmed or scattered, we know that we can return back to center, back to that light. And in that light, we are the same. We are one. Namaste.